Mathematics, Ordinary Level, Paper 2, 2023, Part 5. Let's start with question number 13. A rectangular base pyramid ABCDE has a center O. OA is the vertical height and AE, AD, AC and AB is all 18. Very important that all this are equal. Okay. Now, also remember it's a rectangular base pyramid. That means that these angles here are all 90 degrees, although it don't look like that. Okay, so the first one, they gave you the volume formula. We will use it later. And then they say, find the length of CE. Now, let's see where is CE. So they want me to find this length. Now, where do I find it in the textbook? So you can look at part 2 textbook, chapter 10, and then that will be on page 531. Okay, so basically, if I start there, the length, I can see, oh, this is a triangle Pythagoras theorem. So I'm going to say CE squared is equal to 15 squared plus 5.2 squared. And if I work it out, I will get this. And then I will add it up. And if I add it up, I will get 252.04. Did you see? I didn't write the square because I want to take the square root on the other side. And don't forget your full calculator display. 15.8757677. Okay, and if I approximate now to three significant figures, it will be 15.9. And that will be my final answer. Then the length of the vertical height OA. Okay, so let's quickly see how I will find the length of the vertical height. Now again, do you see the 90? Now I can find the half of this, but okay, so I'm going to focus and find that one. Do you see? And that's exactly in the middle. So I'm going to find OE. So if I find OE, it is the half of. It's better to work with the unapproximated answer. Okay, but I think there's also a saying that if the previous one, you can use the previous if that answer, but let's rather go for accuracy. So that is going to be, if I'm writing that, full calculator display, 7.9378834849. Okay, and now I can go and find, don't forget that this one is also 18. There is your 90. Do you see that? So basically, I'm looking for OA squared. Again, Pythagoras. And I'm taking the long one, the 18 squared, the one over the 90. And I subtract this one, 7.9378834849. And don't forget to square that. And if I press it in on my calculator, I'm getting 260.99. And did you see? I take the square root on the other side, so I just write OA. And then I'm getting 16.15518.493. And if I approximate it to three significant figures, it's 16.2 because of, okay, let me just make that one. Now I have two points there. So it's 16.2. That 5 makes that one a 2. Okay, and then the volume of the rectangular base pyramid. Now, can you remember they gave you the formula, but it's always area of base, and now it's a pyramid, so it's 1/3 area of base times the height. So let's just write that formula first down. So the volume let's just go for blue. It's 1/3 base area times the height. And that is going to be 1/3. And now what is the base area? Can I just show you again? So it's that 15 times 5.2 and then times the height that I got there, OA. Where is OA? There. Okay, and again, I would like to work with the unapproximated values. So it's 15 times 5.2 times, and I 16.15518,493. And again, first my full calculator display. And then I go for my free significant, and that's 420. Let's see what this question is telling us in the examination report. Okay, so let's see in the examination report, question number 13. Okay, so here, this part question was well answered by the candidates. Majority of the candidates could use Pythagoras theorem. So that was giving me that 15.9. I didn't show you the marks. I'll show you now the marks. So one was just getting that step and then the other mark. Then this one, many candidates failed to obtain half the length in A. Candidates also answered this question poorly because many struggled to deal with the three-dimensional. Okay, but again, for the OA, you got your value. And then as soon as you subtract, or the Pythagoras theorem again, and then for your answer, but 16.2. And then even though the formula was provided, some candidates still use some other wrong formula. So this is one that will be provided in the exams, and it stands in the syllabus. So some candidates even thought they used the correct formula, although they used the correct formula, failed to use the height obtained in B. Can I just show you the marks again there? So for this one, it was also just a 1 and a 1, but I forgot to show you the marks. So I will just go back to that question, and I'll just show you the marks. So for this one, they would have gave you for that step and then the final. Okay, and then for this one, if you get OA, and then if you for Pythagoras theorem, and then the final. And then this one, it's just counting 2 marks. So for the formula, and then the final answer. Okay, let's do the next one. Number 14. Just want to make it a bit smaller. It's too big now. And there it is. Okay. And this looks like what to you? It looks like statistics. Okay. So it's going to be in part 2 of the question of the textbooks. So where will I find this? I will find this in part 2. And it will be in statistics. And this will be histograms. For group data with unequal class intervals. And you will find that on page 674. And that will be example 27 will help you in the textbook. Okay, so a histogram has been drawn to show some of the information in part B using the histogram to complete the table above. Okay, so you must look at this histogram and then you complete the table. Now, if you look at this one, can I just tell you where in the textbook you will find this? So on page, and I want to, yes, I'll just write it here. On page 674, look there. They say to find the frequency density. Sorry, then it's writing and then not. Density. It is always the frequency divided by the width, the class width. Okay, but if you change this formula around, or just change the subject of the formula. So if I say 1 times, if I want the frequency, it will be, I multiply over cross, it means the frequency density multiply the width. Okay, so we can use this formula. So let's just see. If I look at the frequency density and I go here to this block, the one here given to me, and I look and I draw it there and I see, oh, it's 0.5. It's there at 0.5. So I'm going to say the frequency density, I'm just reading it down on the vertical line, 0.5. Then I take the frequency density, so it's the 0.5, and I multiply it with the width. So 50 minus 30, what will that be? It's 20. And then what do I get? 10. Okay. And now the same with this one. If I'm reading it down, so that's just 2, so it's 0.2. And that's 110 minus 80, that's 30. So 30 minus 0.2, so or 0.2 multiply 30, so that was 10, and that is just going to be 6. And that's what they wanted me to do. So very important, this formula, that you also remember it for the examination. Okay, so draw the missing bars on the histogram. Now let's see if we can quickly fill it in. So it's 0.2 so it's 0.2, so it's just 0.2. So I'm just going to, okay, I'm going to make it a bit bigger that I see also better. Okay, so 0.2. Okay. And then you can just scratch, like you don't have to color in, but just that it stands out a little bit. And then the next one, I just want to show you, so I just must make it a bit smaller that we can see. Okay, so I was drawing that one. Did you see this one? And now I'm going, this one is done for you. And this one is 3.2 and it's 10. So 3.2, let's just go 3.2 and it's just 10. So 3.2, and I have to make it bigger every time that you see better. Oh, sorry. 3.2, now it's too big. 3.2 and 10. So I prefer that I first just get that 3.2. Let's just get this line here, and it must be, there's 3, so it must be up to 3.2. Just make sure it's up to 3.2. Okay, and it's 10, so it's just like this, and it's like this. Okay, let's just come down with that one. Okay, and then it's like this. Okay, so just make sure that one is at 3.2. And then the next one, it's standing there, it's 1 and 20. So this one was just, and I'm going to show you again. I'm busy drawing now this one. It's 60 to 80, so 60 to 80, 1 and 20. So if I make it bigger, so, and again, it's at 1. Okay, let's just get the pen correct. Okay, and it's this one here. And again, my stripes. Okay, and then the final one, I can show you just here. It's 1.5 and 45. So 1.5, so just make sure, this 1.5. I think what you can do, if you struggle, I'm going to do it now. So look what you can do to make sure you are not making mistakes. You can take a ruler. So I must just now count It's 1.234. So that's going to help you. Did you see what I did? Okay, so then I'm just going back to the pen, and it's 1.5. So there at 1.5. Okay, now I can basically just take my ruler away, and now I can just bring it down. And now I can just do this. Okay, and make sure, because you get 1 mark for every one. So in this case, can I show you? Get a mark for that. You get a mark, you get a mark, you get a mark. And for the top ones, you were getting 2 marks. So you were getting a mark, a mark, a mark. So if you struggled maybe with this frequency, you could have at least have just read it from the vertical scale, the 0.5 and 0.2, correct. But let's just go to the exam report. Okay. So basically, if I go to the exam report, it's number 14. Very well answered. Okay, excellent. Very well answered. Excellent. Very well answered. However, some candidates lost the accuracy mark for not giving their final answer correct. Oh, we must still do that one. Correct to the nearest minute. Okay, so we are just here. The 10 and the 0.5, the 6 and the 0.2, and then my different bars. We will now do the next one, and then we will come back to the examination report. Okay. Let's look at number C. The table shows the time T minutes taken by the 119 grade 9 learners. It's always good to underline to complete their examination. Okay, so you can see it's group data, and they are asking you calculate an estimate of the mean time. Give your answer correct to the nearest minute. Now, you will find this mean, okay, it's still in part 2, textbook. So still part 2, and it's still statistics. And you will find this on page 667 to find the mean of group data. Go and look there. Okay, so because it's easy to score this for 4 marks. So the first thing that you have to do is to find the middle points there. And the easiest way to do it is to say 40 plus 60, take the beginning and the end and divide it by 2. And what do you get? 50. And then 60 plus 70, what do you get? Divide 2, 65. And I write it there on the table on top. And then 70 plus 100 is 170. Divide by 2, 85. And then 100 plus 120, divide by 2, and that's 110. And now, to get that mean, you can say 50 times 18 plus 65 times the frequency, 20. Plus, and that's why I said you must practice this. It's easy score marks. 43 plus 110 multiply 38. And then you divide it with the total amount of learners, which is 119. Okay, and you can even write that in between values, and that will be 900 plus 1,300 plus 3,655 plus 4,180. Because sometimes you can, if you press everything on the calculator, you can maybe make a mistake. Okay, and then 0,035 divide 119, and then always good to first write your whole calculator display, 84.32773109. Oh, but look here. Give your answer correct to the nearest minute. And if you see any other accuracy, always underline it. So to the nearest minute will not be 84.3. Then you would have lost a mark. The nearest minute will just be 84. So please, if you see something like that, underline it, that you don't forget. But let's go to the examination report. And let's just see here what they're saying. Okay, so very well answered. However, some candidates lost the accuracy mark for not giving their final answer correct to the nearest minute. Many candidates rather gave their answer to 3 significant figures. A few candidates also failed to use the midpoints correctly. So really, it's score marks. Make sure you can do this kind of questions. All these videos refer to the y equals mx plus c textbooks, the number 1 mathematics textbook used in Namibian schools. For more information on these textbooks, visit the Straight Line Publishing website. All y equals mx plus c to success textbooks are available in the NEED catalogue of the Ministry of Education. Schools can order these using their yearly budget for textbooks, with the process typically starting mid-year. Make sure your learners have a copy of the y equals mx plus c mathematics textbook used by the top schools in Namibia in front of them in 2025. A final point. If you are in the position, I want to encourage you to buy your own personal copy of the y equals mx plus c mathematics textbook. These textbooks are available at the following bookshops. Remember, success in mathematics comes from hard work, perseverance, and the courage to face challenges head on. Good luck with your final 2024 examination.